You're listening to
Catholic Sprouts,
the daily podcast for Catholic kids that strives to plant seeds of faith. Hey there, Sprouts. Today is Friday, March 18th, 2022. Now, this week we have been talking about the deadly sin of pride. How pride is saying to God, well, I know better, I don't need you. And pride is also looking at those around us and saying, well, I'm better than you, right? And how this it's such a lie. Instead, we should be humble, right? We should know who we are. We should know that all of our gifts came from God, that we are wonderfully and beautifully made, but that we are not God. There is a God, and it's not me. Yesterday, we looked at the example of St. Patrick, who humbly obeyed, went back to Ireland, even though he had been a slave there, and how God just did incredible things through him. The entire country of Ireland was converted. Now, we started talking about the lessons that we learn from Christ on the cross. And the first one is that we should glorify God and not ourselves. The second lesson that we learn is that humility is truth. Now, we already said this, right? Being humble doesn't mean that we think we're less than we are. It simply means that we're honest, that we're true about who we are, right? There is a God, he loves me, but it's not me. That's humility. There is a God, he made me. I am good, but I am not God. Now, here's an even bigger truth I want you to think about. When we live in the sin of pride, we live in a world that is very small, right? Pride means that I am in control, right? The world is only as big and as wonderful as I make it because I am in control. There is no God. Now, I don't know about you. I'm sure you're great. But our minds, our imaginations, our determination, it's pretty limited, right? There's only so much that I can accomplish on my own. Think about the example of St. Patrick, right? I'm sure he was a great guy. I'm sure he was really smart and a great speaker and all of those things. But I'm sure that, on his own, he wouldn't have been able to accomplish that much. However, when we're humble, when we say there is a God, it's not me, we obey where he leads, then incredible things are possible because he is God. When we say, you know what, I don't have all the answers. I have some hopes and dreams, but I'm going to place those in God's hands. Every time you do that, God shows you something so much bigger and brighter and better always. When we have this plan and we think, I can take care of it, I'm going to figure it out, I'm going to go from point A to point B, I don't need God's help, then we might get there. We might accomplish what we had set out to do. But I think the possibility that God had something bigger and better for you, it's very real, and you missed it because you weren't open to letting him lead. When we are humble, when we are like St. Patrick, yes, we cultivate our talents, we get that education, we work hard, but we're always going back to prayer and saying, God, is this what you desire for me? God, is this the path? Is this the answer to this decision? We're always asking him. And when we do that, the world is so big, so full of possibility. It's so exciting. So that is a true lesson on pride. If we give in to pride, if we think, I can do this all on my own, then maybe you can. But your life's going to be very small. You're not going to be able to accomplish those big, amazing things like St. Patrick did. But if we're humble and we allow God to lead us and we are obedient, amazing things can happen. And so, Sprouts, let's just reflect on that, letting go of our plans and letting God. And so it's Friday, so I want to encourage you once again to check in with those Lenten resolutions, to remember that today is a day of abstinence when we don't eat meat, but also evaluate, am I keeping up with my decisions to pray and to fast and also to give to the poor? Am I doing good with those things? Do I need to get back on track? Do I need to make some adjustments so that this really is a truly fruitful and wonderful Lent? That's it for Catholic Sprouts today. We'll be back tomorrow, but until then, continue to grow in your faith and truly sprout into the beautiful creation that God created you to be. Hey friends, I hope that you are having a beautiful and fruitful Lent. I'd like to invite you to add the Stations of the Cross to your family's Lenten experience, especially during Holy Week. We offer a beautiful family-friendly Stations of the Cross book, which has been very popular. If you would like to grab a copy for your family, we would love for you to do that. Our supplies are limited and we expect to run out. So head on over to the show notes, follow the link, and grab a copy for your family.
This show is a production of the Spoke Street Media Podcast Network. For more great podcasts, visit spokestreet.com.